There's something I want to read. There's a lot that I want to read from this, The Power of Now. But something that stands out, that just feels good to read, and I have a desire to read it aloud. So that's what I'm doing. Most people pursue physical pleasures or various forms of psychological gratification because they believe that those things will make them happy or free them from a feeling of fear or lack. Happiness may be perceived as a heightened sense of aliveness attained through physical pleasure, or a more secure and more complete sense of self attained through some form of psychological gratification. This is the search for salvation from a state of unsatisfactoriness or insufficiency. Invariably, any satisfaction that they obtain is short-lived, so the condition of satisfaction or fulfillment is usually projected once again onto an imaginary point away from the here and now. When I obtain this, or am free of that, then I will be okay. This is the unconscious mindset that creates the illusion of salvation in the future. True salvation is fulfillment, peace, life in all its fullness. It is to be who you are, to feel within you the good that has no opposite, the joy of being that depends on nothing outside itself. It is felt not as a passing experience, but as an abiding presence. In theistic language, it is to know God, not as something outside you, but as your own innermost essence. True salvation is to know yourself as an inseparable part of the timeless and formless one life from which all that exists derives its being. True salvation is a state of freedom. Freedom from fear, from suffering, from a perceived state of lack and insufficiency, and therefore from all wanting, needing, grasping, and clinging. It is freedom from compulsive thinking, from negativity, and above all from past and future as a psychological need. Your mind is telling you that you cannot get there from here. Something needs to happen, or you need to become this or that before you can be free and fulfilled. It is saying, in fact, that you need time, that you need to find, sort out, do, achieve, acquire, become, or understand something before you can be free or complete. You see time as the means to salvation, whereas in truth, it is the greatest obstacle to salvation. You think that you can't get there from where and who you are at this moment because you're not yet complete or good enough. But the truth is, here and now is the only point from where you can get there. You get there by realizing that you are there already. You find God the moment you realize that you don't need to seek God. So there is no only way to salvation. Any condition can be used, but no particular condition is needed. However, there is only one point of access, the now. There can be no salvation away from this moment. You are lonely and without a partner? Enter the now from there. You're in a relationship? Enter the now from there. There is nothing you can ever do or attain that will get you closer to salvation than it is at this moment. This may be hard to grasp for a mind accustomed to thinking that everything worthwhile is in the future. Nor can anything that you ever did or that was done to you in the past prevent you from saying yes to what is and taking your attention deeply into the now. You cannot do this in the future. You can do it now or not at all. Yeah. That says it all. It says all of it. Consciousness is free now. That's what salvation is. Freedom. That's it. Freedom from fear, from suffering, from the perception of lack, the perception of separation. It's the knowing of the self. And the self is known now because the self is now and no other time, because there is no other time. The self is true, the self is actual, the self exists. And all that exists is here and now. Everything else, all else is illusion. Any description, any characterization added to here and now is ultimately illusion. Anything you want to call it or define it as, even the what, even the content that you can point at, say, well, this is here, this is now. Yeah, it is, and it's now. Ultimately, that stuff doesn't exist. What it is here. What it is now. That's all there is. Let go of future. Let go of past. They're concepts. They're imagined. They're unreal. And nothing unreal exists. Nothing real can be threatened. Herein lies the peace of self, of knowing the self. Your freedom is now and eternally. That's it. Have a beautiful night.